Hi everyone, Ohayo gozaimasu. Welcome! This channel is for Japanese learners of English. Kiyomo shadowing no lesson wo yadakimasho. Listen to today's real native conversation. Focus on the rhythm and shadow along. Practice daily to master tango, bunpao, hatsuan, and rhythm. Repeat and try again tomorrow if needed. Zehi. Channel no toroku wo onegai shimasu. Okay, are you ready? Here we go.
Ever been on the receiving end of a compliment that just felt off? Like, were they being genuine or was it just good manners? Turns out there's a whole spectrum of ways to say, you're just flattering me. And it's not always about being nice.
Oh, absolutely. And it's fascinating how, in English, you can express that subtle doubt, that little bit of suspicion, that undercurrent of sarcasm. It's more than just saying you're being polite.
Right. It's not just the words themselves. You've got the tone, the context, the whole thing. Let's start with the basics, like, you're flattering me. How does that land, typically?
Well, you're flattering me is fairly direct. It's a way of acknowledging that someone is saying nice things, but you're also hinting that they might be exaggerating a bit or not entirely genuine. You know, that's kind of a polite way of saying, I think you're laying it on a bit thick.
So it's not necessarily hostile? Like, it's a step down from you're buttering me up or something wrong.
Oh, exactly. Butter up is a bit stronger. It's like saying someone's trying way too hard to get on your good side. You're flattering me is more like, okay, I see what you're doing. A little too kind, maybe. It's almost playful sometimes, like, oh, stop you. It's not always meant as a harsh put down.
Gotcha. And there's also, oh, you're just saying that, which I feel like I hear a lot. What's the vibe on that one?
Oh, you're just saying that is Hammond, yeah. It's like you're calling them out gently, saying that their comment isn't necessarily deeply felt. It can be a bit dismissive, like you're not fully buying into what they're saying,
right.
Or just that you think they are being overly nice for no particular reason.
It's like a gentle nudge, right? Like, come on, I know you don't really mean that. It's not confrontational, but it has that hint of disbelief. It doesn't quite land as sarcasm, though, does it?
No, not always outright sarcasm, but it's in that ballpark. And there's also, come on, you don't mean that. It's very similar, but it almost invites the person to confirm or deny their true feelings. There's a bit of a challenge there.
Right. It says like, you're saying, are you sure? It's more conversational. It's more like a gentle tease. So all these have that underlying skepticism. But what about phrases that are full-on sarcastic?
That's where it gets interesting. When you want to add a bit of bite, you can use expressions that on the surface sound like praise, but are actually loaded with sarcasm.
Ooh, like what? Give me some examples.
Okay, so imagine someone says something totally ridiculous, and you respond with a deadpan, oh, you're trying to be nice, or even, you're just being polite. It's like saying, I know you're being disingenuous.
Ah, so it's not about them being nice, it's about them trying to appear nice, or just saying the expected thing. There's a layer of judgment there.
Exactly. And there is, you're too nice to me. That has a similar edge to it. It implies that they're being so overly complimentary that it's almost comical. It's like you're telling them to dial it back.
That's a good one. It almost sounds like you're slightly accusing them of being fake. And then there's the classic, stop flattering me. It sounds so direct, but it can be delivered with a wink.
Yes. Stop flattering me can be playful, or it can be a clear sign that you've had enough. It's all in how you say it, that nonverbal cue, right? And you can also throw in, I know you're just flattering me to remove any ambiguity, you know?
Right. I know you're just flattering me, kind of lays it all out there. There's no room for doubt, really. They can be like, oh, no, I meant it. You've just called them out.
And there's also a slightly more subtle way of putting it, too, which is, are you trying to flatter me? It throws the ball back to them a little bit. It's like, is that what you're doing?
Yes. Yeah.
Are you trying to flatter me? That's interesting. It's a bit more questioning and less of a direct accusation. Because like you're observing their behavior. So if someone throws one of these at you, how do you usually respond?
That's a great question, and it really depends on the relationship. If it's a friend, you might play along with a little, oh, you know me so well, or even something like, guilty as charged. But if it's someone you don't know that well, a simple thank you might be the safest route. Yeah, I bet context is key. You don't want to respond with sarcasm to someone who's being genuine. But there's a lot of nuance in all these phrases, isn't it there? It is more than just, oh, you're being too kind.
Totally. It's about acknowledging the compliment, but also maybe hinting that you're not taking it at face value. It's that subtle art of English conversation. So instead of just dismissing a compliment, they have various ways of saying, I see what you're doing, or are you sure that's how you really feel?
It's not about being rude or dismissive. It's about acknowledging the subtext. So the next time you hear a compliment that feels a little too polished, you have all these nuanced options to play with.
Exactly. You are not limited to just calling out someone's politeness or compliment. You have the full spectrum to make it clear you get what they are doing or not doing.
All right, we've finished today's lesson. How did you find it? 理解できない部分はありませんでしたか? Repeat and try again tomorrow if needed. Please let me know your 感想 or request in the comments. ぜひチャンネルの登録をお願いします. I look forward to seeing you all again soon. See you next time. Bye bye.